Developing a close connection with the community, essentially with constituents, is always a key part of a Member of Parliament's role. That kind of engagement can take an MP in so many different directions on a typical or not so typical day in the riding. CPAC visits New Democrat MP Peggy Nash in her riding of Parkdale High Park in Ontario on a busy Saturday. So this is your home, this is your neighborhood. You don't live too far, you're here for a run at the beautiful High Park. How does this energize you for such a busy day ahead?
Well, look at this place. It is truly magnificent. It is kind of a jewel of the city, and whether I run here or in Ottawa, it's just a way to clear my mind and to energize myself for the day ahead. I find it very relaxing and very enjoyable.
A routine 5-kilometer run in one of her favorite parks helps get MP Peggy Nash ready for the day, even in sub-zero temperatures in February. We caught up with the MP in Toronto's 400-acre public park, the largest in the city.
It is so well used. There's skating, there's all kinds of sports. In the spring, people come by the many thousands to see the cherry blossoms. There's picnics, there's a little zoo here, which people are quite fond of. It is magnificent. I mean, I've been coming here since I was a small child, and now I'm just so happy to live right by it.
Morning, David.
Morning.
How are you?
Not too bad.
After her morning run, she stops by Coffee and All That Jazz for a quick bite and a chat with the owners and patrons.
We're here to help.
For people who aren't aware of Parkdale High Park, who are your constituents?
Well, we're West End, Toronto riding right on Lake Ontario, and we're a very diverse mix of communities.
About 110,000 people call this family-friendly riding home. It's made up of wealthy neighborhoods, but also lower-income areas like Parkdale, which is often the first stop for many newcomers. The riding is also home to the largest Tibetan community in Canada.
The history is that in this part of the West End of Toronto, we have a large group of Eastern Europeans, so Poles, Ukrainians, people from the Baltic states, Hungarians, Maltese.
Many former industrial buildings have been replaced by condos. Nowadays, you'll find a large number of people who work in communications, media, and the arts. The area is well served by transit, a priority issue for local residents.
I would say this is a very engaged community. People are involved with the schools, they're involved with the parks, with the issues that go on in their neighborhood. If they don't like development that's taking place, they speak out about it.
So, how does Nash stay informed about what her constituents need and want from the federal government?
I try to be as engaged as possible through a variety of mechanisms. I'm very active on social media, so I monitor everything that people send back to me on Twitter, Facebook, my webpage, email. But there's nothing like seeing people face to face.
Nash joins hundreds at a rally outside Toronto Police headquarters.
I wasn't part of organizing this event today. It's not in my riding. I just believe it is such a profound injustice.
As an opposition member, how do you go about getting the government's attention on an issue like murdered and missing Aboriginal women?
Well, this is an issue that is a national shame that all of the opposition members have been speaking about and joining with the community to urge the government to take action on.
Back in her riding, Nash speaks at a Families Against Climate Change event.
I know how urgent the struggle is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
She tells us about some of the other issues that matter to her constituents.
We have a community with many artists, so certainly support for artists, funding, respect for artists. These are important things. Support for the CBC. That's very important. Economic issues. People want good quality jobs, affordable housing, childcare. These are all things that squeeze families today, so anything that helps them make life more affordable is really important. And as you see, there's lots of kids, so the child care issue is a big one here.
Nash's busy day continues with some canvassing in the riding. Earlier, Nash reflected on balancing the needs of the job with family life.
It's certainly not as tough for me as it is for MPs who have very young families. But it doesn't matter what age you are, you want to have some balance in your life. I mean, I do want to see my children and grandson. I do want to spend time with my husband. And I try to make sure that I have at least one date night a week at some point with my husband.
Reporting from Parkdale High Park in Ontario, I'm Heather Seaman.